A compelling personal blog, penetrating Amazon reviews of important books of our era, outstanding videography in his YouTube presentations on subjects of contemporary interest. Yes, wonderful words were spoken about my presentations on the internet as I went through the visionary communications path last year in Pathways. Of course, they were spoken by me. My evaluator was never asked to look at what I did on the internet. I could have made it all up. It was the same this year as I went through Engaging Humor. I was asked to speak 4 times on how wonderful humor is, but I was never asked to try to be funny. If I had cracked a joke, my poor evaluator would have been scrambling. What do I do now? He tried to tell a joke. He tried to be funny because it wasn't in there. No, the evaluations were always the same 3 questions. What did Graham do well? What could Graham improve? And what should Graham do to challenge himself? There were also some follow-on questions for which Pathways had not prepared me. Fortunately, Competent Communicator had, so I could do it. They said, how was my vocal variety? How were my gestures? How was my body language? How was my visual aids? Fortunately, the Competent Communicator series had taught that, but is not required in Pathways. You can do it incidentally if you want to. So, actually, I'm certified now as an expert in communication and an expert in humor, even though I've never done either. And for another $20 a pop, I can get certified as an expert in planning, leadership, and strategic relationships, and anything else. But my question for Pathways is, as long as it's just talking about it, why should you stop at 11 paths? There's ample opportunity for many more. So here's 6 more things that people could talk about, I propose. Start with scrumptious chefery. How to become a gourmet cook. No kitchen required. Just appetizing adjectives, and you might ask your evaluator if your word soup was spicy enough. Or how about on stunt flying? Aviationary agility. How to do loop-the-loops and barrel rolls to make your stomach churn. Once again, don't ask me to join you on your maiden flight. For somebody interested in the professions, how about cutting-edge cardiosurgery? How to become a world-class heart surgeon, tying the arteries to the veins, the ventricles to the tentacles, and so on. Once again, don't ask me to be your first patient. Now, there are ways in which the internet is way ahead of us. So Toastmasters could just catch up. I propose another path called inimical intimacy. There are all sorts of guys on the internet who tell women how to manage their love lives to achieve long-term satisfaction. Of course, these guys have never been married. They have a new girlfriend every month. But no matter, because they're just talking about it, and they talk a good game about the long term. And speaking about people who just talk about it and don't do it, there's human relations, which tells everybody in the company what to do. So how about this path? Hubris in human relations. You can practice telling people how to show up on time by using an alarm clock, or get the men in the organization together to tell them that women are different than men. You knew that. In this, and this way, and if you don't observe that, you're likely to get fired. Or lastly, we are a diverse, multicultural company. We have people of all types here. We have to all get along with one another. even as we hire people from this race to replace people from that race, and we ask people from that race to tell the people from this race how to do the job on their way out the door. Please all smile. Lastly, politics. There are many people in politics who have never as much as run a shoeshine stand who have a load of advice on how to run a multi-trillion-dollar economy. And we have historical examples to draw from. Joseph Stalin with his 5-year plans in the Soviet Union, an immense success. Didn't kill too many millions. Mao Zedong in China with his Cultural Revolution, the Great Leap Forward. Killed a few more millions, but made some progress, right? And we have an ongoing experiment today, the Bolivarian Revolution led by Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. Nicolas Maduro could talk about how to run a country into the ground as a political polymath. And furthermore, he could become a YouTube star. I'm sure he'd get lots of subscribers from Zimbabwe, Afghanistan, and New York City, because he knows how you run things. So that's my proposal for Toastmasters. We used to be so constrained when we tried to teach people how to actually do something, such as public speaking. But now that we're just talking about it, why, we can talk about anything. I hope that Toastmasters can maintain as good a reputation as the Talking About It Club as it did when it used to be known as the club where you went to learn public speaking. Madam Toastmaster.